The role of the media in championing women inclusiveness has been emphasized for engagement of policymakers in implement gender-friendly policies that will pave way for a more equitable society. The assertion was made during a specialized training program aimed at focusing on gender accountability and inclusive reporting organized in Abuja by Gender Strategy Advancement International (GSAI) with support from the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism. Let's join Elizabeth Kasham for more details.
Speaking to newsmen, Executive Director GSAI, Dr. Adora Sydney Jack, and one of the facilitators, a political analyst, Dr. Amadi Anakwe, called for the need to create timely and actionable laws that will create a level playing ground for women's participation in socio-economic structure. They said women should be encouraged to operate beyond the peripheral socio-economic level.
And if you look at the national budget, there is no way that budget is gender sensitive. In fact, the national budget went from, where it was to about 50% less of gender-friendly budget for women, especially in empowerment programs. And I think that's where we start. And I think the idea for that is you look at the streamlining of engagements and thought processes that went through to that gender budget. How many institutions were called to deliberate, to review policies and engagement that surround the articulation of the budget, especially when it came to women's empowerment programs. And you know that beyond the Ministry of Women Affairs, there are also other agencies and parastatals that should also look at inclusive budgeting for women.
If women are given equal opportunity to struggle for resources, same way with the men folk and all that, and they begin to find their balance within the equilibrium, it will automatically translate to greater involvement of women in governance and politics. In other words, if women are allowed to make money and accumulate wealth, it will directly lead to increased participation in politics, because politics is driven and influenced to a reasonable extent by wealth. And women are not fully represented or duly represented because they don't have much exposure to material conditions.
Also speaking on media gender ethic, Vice President, National Association of Women Journalists, Mrs. Chizoba Ogbeche, noted that by adopting gender-sensitive approaches, media can contribute to the dismantling systematic barriers and fostering an environment for inclusivity.
Avoid languages that give the impression that, let's say in our society, that men are doing better than women. Like even in police, you say policemen, even instead of police officer. And they say officers are men of the police. You don't hear officers and women of the police, but we know we have women in the police and who are doing well. So when we are writing, we should try to avoid some of those pitfalls.
The significance of media in shaping societal perception and advocating for gender equality has been highlighted as the training progresses. Stakeholders anticipate that media professionals will emerge equipped with necessary tools and insights to promote gender accountability and inclusiveness in their reporting practices. Elizabeth Kasham, ASO Television News.